As they go back there, I have a few announcements for you today. One first is that we have been, I mentioned a few weeks ago that many of you have asked how you might respond to the national crisis in Ukraine, how you might respond with, I don't know, with your hands, but also with your money. And so I asked our partner in refugee resettlement, Lutheran Social Services, is there a way that we can respond with our hands right now? And they said, really, all of the response is happening internationally. Currently, they're not helping to resettle Ukrainian refugees right now. So they said, but we do really truly vouch for International Rescue Committee. And so if you want to tell your people if there's a place to give, about $108 covers 1 month of resettlement for 8 families. So I mentioned that we just had a goal of $1,200 and said we will match up to $1,200 as a church for $1,200 in gifts that the church gives towards this. We're already at like $700 in 2 days. So if you would like to give to it as we meet we will match $1,200. And what a wonderful thing, because $1,200 would cover about 6 months for 16 families, which is, it looks like it's going to be a little while still. Also, another way to respond is it's going to be coming up very soon, 1 month since the Russian invasion in Ukraine. So we're going to have a community vigil. This is something we actually have done in the history of Kingstowne quite often, and many ways that way that people come and find our church is through these vigils. So and we will actually contact local representatives. We'll contact people who in the area who may be interested, other bodies of people who might want to speak related to refugee resettlement, people who might want to speak to the impact militarily, impact on the economy. So we might invite a few people over the next 2 weeks. I've already had some people contact me because people are looking to speak at events like this, and you have to weed those out too. But if you are this is going to be a prayerful space. It's not meant to be a political space, though it is a place that the politics often comes into. It's a place where it mixes. So if you would like to come pray with us, we will hold vigil in the middle of Kingstowne Town Center. All it is you walk up, I'll hand you a piece of paper that tells you how this is going to go. There's going to be time to reflect and share. Often we might find that there are actual people who are Ukrainian, right? Like who are Ukrainian American, right? Who might have things to say. There may be people who actually were refugees and know what that experience is like to flee a country. They may have things to say in the crowd. So there's always it's always interesting who shows up to a space like that and how that is formed. It's going to be on the 1 month anniversary, the evening of March 24th at 7 p.m. We're just going to take over the grassy area in Kingstowne Town Center, have some light some candles and talk. We also have moved towards a monthly mission. So we have youth and kids on the move. We now have monthly mission on the move. So this is going to be a way that our church connects deeply for a short period of time with one thing particularly, and we can get the whole church around it over that month's time. Our youth have already led us in this. We were contacted by Hawk Pantry, the pantry that Hayfield Secondary School runs, that actually provides nutritious food to food insecure and students living in poverty all down the Hayfield pyramid of schools, all the way down to the elementary level. So we have partnered with them to stock their pantry. They gave us a list on Amazon of things that they need, and we're gonna do that. We already have purchased through the youth program about a third of it. And last weekend they gathered and they kind of sorted, but then they added a youth group stickers that said on every item. So think a student comes to the pantry saying, that is a vulnerable space to be in, to have to walk into a space in your school where your peers are and say, hey, I didn't have something to eat today. So we added to every single thing a sticker that says, you are loved, you are valuable, you matter, to each one. I don't know whether they need to know that day, but maybe one of them does. We're going to do that as well to every other item that we have. A sticker that has our church logo and just that basic phrase of worth and dignity. And we're going to do that on Sunday, March 27th after worship. So whatever you donate, whatever we buy as a church, as we rally around this thing, we will then do that after worship. So that there's also a note that this does not define you. This moment, and maybe it says you can come again. Don't feel, don't feel ashamed in a way that you don't come next week when you also need something. We have youth group going to come up in April. We have Easter coming, of course. We'll be at Null's Produce. Those of you who are new with us, don't know what Null's Produce is, or don't know that we're there, but I'll talk more about that. We are currently formulating what Holy Week is going to look like around Good Friday and Maundy, Thursday. I'll share more about that next Sunday, hopefully. But we're so glad that you are worshiping with us today. And would you just rise and pass the peace of Christ with one another? Say hi to somebody you don't know, maybe. And remember that we are doing a kind of a mask optional. So if you see somebody with a mask, lean into them there, let them lead you.